In this video, we're going to concentrate on the southwest quadrant of the farm, the grass and the wooded area. This is the conservation area that I was talking about earlier that we let grow up starting in 2006. As you see here, this is March of 2006. This is the spring that we decided not to plant anything. We were just going to let it grow up. You can see how bare it is, how you can see all the way across it. It's not thick at all. You would never find deer bedding down in the middle of this area, maybe skirting around the edges. What we did was we started mowing paths along the edges of the woods, all the way across. Once it started growing up, we cut a couple paths through the middle from that island of trees back to the little bit of a patch that runs along the north-south lease road. So over the years, we just kept letting it grow. The only thing we would mow would be the four-wheeler path or the walk-in path, as you see here. Now this is November of 2007, so you see how fast that's growing up. It's starting to get a little bit of a bedding area. It's starting to get better for the turkeys and the rabbits and quail. We've been kicking up some quail out there by this time. These are the same fields that you saw earlier that were totally bare, and it doesn't take long to really get this going. And a lot of people say, well, that's just a bunch of grass, a bunch of weeds. Well, it is. It's cover. This is actually from March of 2011 when I built a hunting shack in there, a little shooting shack in the corner. And you're kind of overlooking the bear. You can see the oil well on the left hand side there up at the top of the screen. And you see it's still pretty much weeds, pretty much thick grass. You might have some saplings popping up here and there. And like I said, that was 2011. So it's only been 5 years that this field has been growing up. Here you can kind of see the mowed path that we have for the four-wheeler and walking in to hunt. And you can start to see the difference between the two, the grass and the mowed area. So right now, this is behind the hunting shack into the woods, and it's not real thick. You can see through there pretty good. It grew up super thick, and I'm hoping some of the other pictures you can see exactly how thick that is. But right in front of that hunting shack is where most of the saplings and trees grew up, and they grew up so thick that you can't even see the hunting shack from the lease road anymore. It's all covered up. This area here, I'm looking right straight behind out of to the south of the shack, and just to the left there you'll see some trees that's where I ended up moving my stand to when I killed the 10-pointer. And these trees over here, just to the left of this four-wheeler trail, you will see that's where I actually killed the 10-pointer. He came across from the farm across from me and over that field, and then tried to sneak in behind me in the woods instead of on the trail. That's a look at the hunting shack when we first started building it, from the oil well area. And you can see the weeds are kind of tall, but you can clearly see the hunting shack in this picture, or the beginnings of the hunting shack. And this is the same field as the first picture, maybe a little different angle, but you can see the mowed areas. Little trail goes to the right. This one goes all the way down up almost to the road, which is south of the farm. And then in the background there, you can see the green hunting shack after we put the tin on the outside and got it all finished up. I've actually only hunted out of that one time, and I killed a deer on video for the buddy of mine that helped me build that. He passed away from cancer. That I actually killed that the day he had surgery, day after he had his first surgery. This is from that stand. This is actually looking at the field over toward my neighbors. You can see a little bit of a clearing there, and this is a little bit more to the south, and you can see how thick that is in there. That just over the years, and you're talking probably November 2016 right here. These pictures were taken just before I killed that 10-pointer actually. You know, I was trying to get a little perspective as to what I can see, what I can't see for future reference. But you can tell how overgrown this has become in just a short while. You're talking 10 years. And those trees there, you know, that tree right there on the right hand side, I'm sure that tree wasn't there when I started this whole project. I think I apparently got some double coverage here on the pictures, but I can give you another look at it. And again, these are November of 2016 that these were taken, and that's of course the hunting shack again back in probably 2011. And then we get up to October of 2017. You can see how high that's grown. You can see the path. This is before I mowed it. You can see how thick this over to the right is. The exact same field that was shown in the first picture. You can see how grown up it is in 11 years basically. And it's just amazing to me that nature has done this. You know, nature has provided this. Nothing out there was planted. It was just let it grow. That's a little bit more toward from the oil well, looking back to the south, and you know, you can see a tree here and there popping up. You know, they're 10-15 feet tall. It's starting to thin itself out a little bit because of the trees and the bushes that have grown, which is fine. I'm just going to kind of let it go. The only thing I'm going to do is mow the paths, you know, to get in and out and ride the four-wheeler across there. The deer use them tremendously. So a little bit of conservation area and a little bit of effort goes a long way. Those are the trees of the hunting shack back there. You can see how huge they are compared to, you can't even see the hunting shack. So all it takes is a little bit of effort to make it work.